game time. Oh, man, I should have too, Mr. Mello. I think I faded off like 1,500. Holla. Yeah, we're getting a little bit of a gap down in the markets right now. So you can see we're a little bit red over here, but that's actually pretty good. You know, when you get something like this, boom, 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 and you're a little bit overbought, you want to see these kind of gap downs. If anything, you want to see a little bit of red because it gives the market more upside to get back, you know, into the front of things. So actually, I like weak opens. The worst thing that you can do when you got an overbought market is you gap up because then there's no range left. So, you know, then that happens actually quite a bit in a bull market. So that's kind of the way it goes. But a weak open is good because like any type of dips, like right now, like any type of dips we're having, it gets bought up. So, you know, we want to see that kind of weak open right now. That's going to be a big help. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that. You know, in terms of the general market. It has been slow the last 2 days, if anybody else has noticed. I know I was in the, what you call that, in the nut grinder yesterday. It was like, I had like 6 trades that were like plus or minus $100. It was just not that much action after the open. Same type of thing, right? Even on the S&P 500, like we broke over resistance, but we're kind of just in that grind mode. When you have a stochastics of 89.77, you're really overbought. So when you're overbought, you kind of grind and grind and grind, but not in the fun way. So that's where, you know, you got to kind of go with this. So it has been a little bit slow, but earnings season is coming. So, you know, we'll kind of keep an eye on some of that stuff. Let me just get rid of some of this stuff here. All right, so let's take a look at some of the stocks here. So this DHR is on watch list today. We are kind of gapping out over its 52-week highs, which is actually pretty important. It's a thicker stock, though. You can see here, like, you've got a 616 million share float, right? So that's like just a monstrous float over there. So it may move slow, so I'll kind of keep an eye on this. Kind of what's been happening on some of these earnings plays. You'll see this with like UAL yesterday. Was anybody following that? What they'll do is they'll gap up at the open and then they'll have like a really deep pullback when nobody's looking, like that kind of like that midday. And, you know, you'll just be like snoozing on it. And then they start to re-ramp. And so kind of really keep an eye on that stuff. Watch them come back and re-ramp. And so I'd wait for like that deeper pullback on some of these and then let it come back. And that's going to be really important. Mr. Place, what's going on, my friend? Tell me something. What is going on in the options world? Man, this DM is running pre-market really hot too. I'd keep an eye on this one. This is probably the only hot mover right now that I've seen, like in terms of the big range. You're already getting a $4 range pre-market. You can see this thing's got tons of room to 23. I'd keep an eye on this one for an ORB or some type of quick pullback buy at the open. Look, these oil stream partner kind of plays are always goofy. Who the fuck trades the black gold anymore anyways? But this one is having, the move. Steve, I'm home, man. So if you want to do a little bro hang, we should do bro hang this weekend. So I keep an eyeball on that one. This eBay has been getting smoked out pre-market. I know a lot of times, like with the big Netflix bounce, a lot of times, you know, some of these things have been gapping down and rebouncing, but eBay's a little bit different than Netflix. It's been in a downtrend for a while, where Netflix has been on an epic uptrend, right? So like those dips get bought in it, where this one's been really riding it down for a few months. And so that's where, you know, you're going to have a slight difference in this. So I do have this on watch for a potential short. Don't chase this one into the hole. See, its float is pretty big. It's 1 billion shares. So you may not get like that big spike down right at the open. You may have to let this thing kind of retrace and then start to short it. So I'd watch it around that 9 EMA, 20 EMA as it starts to pop, or let it pop and break back under the VWAP intraday. That's going to be a lot easier. And then this Philip Morris is running around all day. This could be a little bit slow too, but you know, now that nobody's smoking them Marlboro Reds except on the weekends, you know, this thing is probably going to get dusted at some point too. So I keep an eye on some of these. The watch list itself is a little bit light today. I got this UAL. This was actually had a pretty good range. This one had a pretty good range yesterday. I'd keep an eye on this Etsy, see if this thing breaks over this 45. This ZTL, I think you need one more kind of small down day to kind of retest this trend line. You can see like right now, you're just kind of flagging out here on a short-term time frame. As long as it holds that 2180, I think you're going to be really, really good. Thank you, Coco. I think that one's going to go. It's moving slow as shit right now because it's just consolidating after that big pop. But if it comes out of this range, so always kind of think about multiple time frames. If it comes out of this range over here, so you're talking like maybe 2210, 2220, that's when you want to start looking at this. And when like something breaks out, don't think like you have to hit it on the first breakout. You know, what typically will happen is once a stock starts to trend, it'll break out and then it'll flag again or pull back and go again. So you'll usually, if it's actually a real hot stock, you'll get like three or four opportunities throughout the day to get into it. So a lot of times with some of these little bad boys, like you're not even paying attention, and then you know, they start to rip out. This SFIX is still kind of hanging out, so I'd still watch this. It kind of popped into that 35 at the open yesterday, and then it just kind of ripped back down. So we're going to discount that and pretend like it didn't happen. eBay's for hoes, bro. Nobody uses eBay anymore, except to do pirated DVDs of maybe my classes, and not even the good ones. Hey, my clips, I'm taking this one off the list. The volume on that sucks. I'd still keep this LSTK. And this ride had a little bit of a down day. We caught a little bit of a rip on this one, but it's just been sitting around. It may need a couple more days. Remember when you're watching like something like Ride, you almost got to watch the price of Bitcoin. It is starting to rebound today, so you may be able to you know, get a little secondary play on this. And this AOI, take it off the list. It got boxed out by some news the other day, and it's been smoked out. Take that off the list. So it's a little bit light. Earnings season is coming, so we're going to get tons of plays. Best thing to do, like yesterday was a really dull market. I kept asking my business partner, you know, Site, I'm like, should we short some of this shit? He's like, and he always says, like, don't short a dull market. So, like, sometimes you just got to kind of sit around and chill. Like, I took a loss on it yesterday because I was sitting around like a degenerate in the chat room hanging out a little bit at the end of the day, and you just fade off $100 at a time sometimes, thinking it's not a big deal. Before you know it, you've lost $1,000. Good. That's a good watch list, Johnny G. Yeah, this BJ is ready for a bounce, I think. Hey, Nick, what's up, baby? Mike Taylor, what's up? Yeah, sometimes I do, NASDAQ, that's for sure. Hold on, let me get a little fluffer of cafe. What's up, Walker? What's going on? Yeah, I would keep this on watch. I think this is going to be more of like maybe a swing trade, but yeah, I think you'll be okay. I didn't even know these guys were still in business, so that's always a plus. I'm going to put it on my watch list and watch it for a little bit. NTSG. Let me see. NSTG. This one's all right. I'm not sure what to do with this one. You know, it's a little bit tricky. Like, I mean, to me, it's not a long, but it might not be a short anymore either. It's kind of a tweener. Yeah, sometimes if you look at it and you're like, man, is that a long, is that a short, is it a neither? I always kind of think you leave that alone. You know, when you're looking at a trade, like it's got to hit you in the face, right? We're like, fuck, like I got to get into that. So this one is a penis in between us. BMI, so this is a grinder, right? So like you're not going to be able to do anything with this. So like in 6 days, it's basically moved a buck, right? So, and it's just kind of like there's no pattern necessarily. It is trending on the short term, but you don't have necessarily anything that's like, oh, this is going to explode today. So unless you want to just sit in it and make like 20, 30 cents, you know, you want to find something that's more explosive. Yeah, Microsoft's been nice. Did they already have their... I don't know if they've launched their earnings or not. It must be at the close. So we'll see. I never hold into earnings. That's not really my cup of tea. So that's, you know, it's always a guessing game at that point. So I personally, I never hold through earnings, but that's my style. Roku was nice a couple days ago. This is still something you'd keep on your watch list for day trades. For sure. All right, amigos. I must go. I got to get in and do what I do. Anybody else got any questions? All right, then that's rock and roll. Hey, later, boys. As always, I'll be in the Bulls on Wall Street chat room if you need me. Peace!